Hey everyone, I'm David from Peterson Brothers Automation. It's been a while since we've been able to share any of our updates or news or any videos. Like everybody else, we've been affected by the events of the world for the last couple of months. Who hasn't? But we've taken this time to come up with a few new products, done some new developments, and I just wanted to take a minute to share some of those with you. So the first one, and the one that we're most excited about, is we're launching a new line of products. This line of products is kind of taking a little bit of a step back from our commercial panels that we design for companies and for schools for teaching mechatronics and industrial electronics. And instead, we focused on those needs that might be a little bit more outside or more home or personal use for students who are either homeschooled or students who need a little bit of a supplementary education in some sort of career vocational skills outside of the school setting, or for just anybody who wants to develop these skills on their own and head themselves towards a really high income career. So if you're familiar with our products, we design panels that look a lot like the inside of an industrial control panel, such as what you might see when you open a cabinet that controls a machine in any sort of automated industry. So we took some of those same designs and concepts, and instead of replacing them with cheap versions or different variations of the parts, we decided to keep the industrial level and quality of the same exact parts that you'd see in an industrial setting, and instead we simply designed down the size of the rail to make it a little bit smaller and more affordable. We also upgraded the curriculum to not just be designed to be led along with an instructor, but to be a completely standalone curriculum to guide a student all the way through the basics of voltage, current, and resistance, all the way through building and wiring some of their own circuits, such as what they might see in industry. So here's a brief look at what our training rail, a little bit different than our training panel, but what our training rail might look like for personal or student use. Again, if you're familiar with our panels or really with any industrial control system, you'll probably recognize a lot of the components that are on this rail. They're not a different variation or an educational version of components. These are the actual components from the industrial suppliers. Now it's all powered with a normal 110 volt wall outlet plug, so it can be used anywhere, and it hardly uses any power at all. So we test it here in a home office. So it's very low on power consumption, very easy to use, and extremely safe because it uses a 24 volt power supply. It's also an industry standard, but a very safe voltage and great for experimenting with. This particular model is very difficult to make problems or short circuits and cause any damage. In fact, that's one of the demonstrations in one of the labs that you learn. We also use terminal blocks, which are a method of connecting the wires to a rail. They call this a DIN rail, another industry standard component, which you'll learn about in the kit, and variations of those with jumpers and other connection components. And it'll also come with bundles of wires that are pre-connected in the right colors and with the right connectors to simulate troubleshooting and finding problems with actual industrial circuits. We also include relays and motor contactors, a very common component in these electrical control systems. And this applies not just for industrial stuff, but also automotive use. They use relays all the time. So the learning that you get here is applicable to a lot of different fields. Motor contactors are some of the large components, a little bit heavier, but again, it's not a simulation of a component. You're actually going to make the coil of a motor starter engage and disengage. Now the control devices, we include a variety of push buttons and selector switches. These are illuminated push buttons, red and green, selector switches that are both spring return from center, where they spring right back when you let go, and then also retentive, which means they latch in position. All of these have very common uses and very legitimate applications. And our holding device is pretty unique. This is one of the things that took us a little bit longer to design, but we had a lot of fun with it. These will be included with 3D printed holders for the push buttons so that you can connect all the wires using the screw terminals and then simply press it onto the rail so that it simulates having a button that may be attached to a control cabinet without having to include the control cabinet, because those things can cost hundreds or thousands of dollars. That's completely unrealistic for training. But our innovative design allows you to simply take the buttons off, wire them up, put them right back on, and they stay nice and stable. We also designed and 3D printed our own feet for the rail. Normally these, again, would be screwed inside the cabinet, giving them stability, but again, the cabinet setup is a little bit unachievable and unrealistic for home and personal use. So we design and print our own feet, and those are included along with the kit. You also get a multimeter. That's not just for industrial use. A multimeter, a voltmeter, and resistance meter, those are incredibly useful for automotive use, home use, and there's all kinds of different uses for it. But we'll mostly be focusing on those that are going to lead to the really high income jobs and careers that we find are very, very exciting. That's the kind of stuff we teach on a day-to-day basis. So moving to our other exciting update, this one's really exciting for us. The products are probably more exciting for you, but we used to have an office in our hometown of Chehalis, Washington. So we've moved out of that office, and we've spent the last couple of months renovating a home office so that we can not only have a little bit more space and a little bit more ability to have some flexibility on our design of some of our systems, but we also, my favorite part about this is we get to include our families along with it. So sometimes when we can have the kids come out here and not only help us with some of the projects, but we can also teach them and learn how to better develop our training curriculum so that we can teach ages not just professionals in industry, but also down into the elementary and middle school ages as well. I just love having my kids able to come with me to work every single day. So it has been a challenging couple of months for us. I imagine we can't even imagine how difficult it has been for some people out there, and we're very sympathetic to that. We cannot wait until things are somewhat back to normal so that we can help start getting companies back on their feet with training, but we can also help to provide schools and students and technicians looking for ways to upgrade their skills so they can launch into these careers. We cannot wait for the opportunity to launch out there and start helping you guys develop the skills and learn those things. So we hope to hear from you soon. If you have any questions or ideas, please let me know. I'd love to get back to you as quick as I can on that. And we'll also be developing and sharing some more videos that dive into a little bit more specifics on this. We love providing some free stuff. And although obviously we have to charge for the panels, the parts do cost money. I wish I could give away everything for free, but my brother, the business side of that, says that it's not really great for business to be able to give away all of your stuff for free. I would love to be able to do that. But I will be designing some extra material that goes along with these trainers that I will be putting online for anybody to be able to access. So hopefully, even if you don't have it sitting in front of you, you can still learn some from the information that we're able to share. So I hope you have a great day. Stay safe out there, and just like you, I cannot wait for everything to open back up so that we can get back out there and start serving our friends out in the industrial community. Have a great day.